Well, hello everybody, and welcome back once again to another episode of Vices and Virtues. I am your GM, 360 Mac Gamer, also known as Mac, and joining us today we have Rasp as Coin.
No, I'm not as Coin. I'm as Esra.
Yeah.
Right. Coin
Wrong
is
game.
Don't be surprised if I was as Coin.
Wrong game.
Tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat.
What?
Sorry, I saw Coin first, and I was like, oh, right, Coin, and then I was like, wait, this isn't Shadowrun. Ugh. But yeah.
Got him.
Then we also have
Fork
Clowd.
drives up in a van.
Yeah. We have Clowd, aka Neekolas.
Hello. Neekolas.
Neekolas. Got it. We got Ecliptixis as Flint.
Hello.
We got Sugar as Arizima.
Hello, hello.
And we got Yargon, your host, as Aki.
I'm impressed you said it right.
Wow.
Yes.
You usually say
I'm
that.
trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying, really. I'm actually trying. Unfortunately, for personal reasons, our good friend Rue, Wicked Kangaroo, will not be continuing with us any longer. Some personal issues have come up and he's decided to retire from the game. Which, of course, we wish him luck in. Oh, if he's listening to this, hope you're doing good, Rue. With that in mind, I think a little bit of a recap's in order. So, do any of you want to recap for the audience?
We
I
fought a
can-
Kraken.
Some
Yep,
stuff happened.
Kraken. The
People
recap
died.
is just Kraken.
There was
Yeah.
a Kraken. I think that sums everything up.
Yeah.
In all seriousness,
Got it.
though, we awoke in the middle of nowhere with no idea who we were or what was going on. Made some rough sort of alliances, and then headed out into the wilderness to have a look around and try and just sort of head onwards. Fought something, not quite sure what it was because we don't remember, because we didn't, we fought it, we killed it, it went over a cliff, and now we don't remember it, which we just remember we fought it, so that was a bit weird. Then we came across a house that was upside down. Touching it, like the touching the furniture or the roof, made you fall upwards, so that was interesting. There was a bit of an investigation went on there, and we tried figuring out the mechanics behind that, and eventually figured out that there were some wolves in the area which showed up. There were some winter wolves and cubs, and they showed up and attacked us while we were sleeping next to the house, because it was about nightfall. We then moved onwards from this house, because in the morning... Oh, I should state, Grom, who was the barbarian, managed to tame one of the winter wolves after we eviscerated the rest of them pretty horrifically, and at the same time, Esra also figured out that you have to name things or they vanish. And
Well, you have to apply details that will be remembered to things, or they vanish.
Yeah, if you don't name something, if you don't remember it actively, then it vanishes. So it appears that this place is based on memory. And then in the morning, we were awoken. We awoke to find an orcish woman who had lots of weapons and big, strong, bad attitude. Her name is Sarah, as much as she denies it. And
Her real name is Sanathar.
it's Sarah. And with that, she told us that she was from a village of people who are trying to survive in this strange environment that keeps changing around them, somewhere to the northwest, I believe. And we began heading off in that direction. We encountered some more of those strange people that appeared to be sort of blank, and she referred to them as hollows in passing. We ended up fighting those off, attempting to cross a bridge over a river, and successfully fought those off. There were also some shambling mound type things that I don't remember the name of, but they were made of trees and they weren't particularly nice, and we tried fighting those off too, and that went quite successfully. And then a Kraken showed up, and we tried fighting that off, and that went a little less successfully. Aki ended up...
I dealt damage to it!
Yeah, I ended up unconscious and underwater. The barbarian ended up flung through a tree at 1 hit point. Grom ended up flung through a tree at 1 hit point, and Esra was using magic voodoo powers to try and damage it. but it has like 6 billion hit points, and we have about 4 between us.
It actually wasn't voodoo.
It basically was.
It wasn't voodoo, though.
This is our resident expert on the voodoo, of course, over here. The warlock. And it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not too inaccurate.
So with that, we have been made a hasty retreat from this this Kraken's place.
It wasn't a retreat. It was a tactical move.
It was
withdrawal.
Tactical withdrawal. Okay, we've made our tactical withdrawal, and we are currently regrouping in a particularly not battered state. Definitely ready for more combat or whatever is thrown at us next.
Okay,
totally.
cool.
Probably worth mentioning that the barbarian tried to run back into the fight with the Kraken and was then knocked out by Flint. If I'm allowed to deal non-lethal damage in this campaign, because
Of course you are.
Okay, then he's just knocked out.
Yeah, because you rolled a crit to knock him out when he had 1 hit point.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I assume there are some conversations that are going to happen. One I'm particularly interested in is Esra talking to his friend Cat, who is a wizard who none of the others can see.
She just like pulls you. Yeah. So then, back to where we were. Let us start with a quote. The earth spins his yarn of tales. The majestic beast can't help but stare. As it bowed its head to learn, the world laughed and earned its scorn. You all are, for the most part, half of you are relatively unharmed after fighting off a group of seemingly human entities. I say entities because they do not seem to respond to any positive phrase or word or anything that you say, but they look human, they fight human, and in many cases it seems as though they speak a language to one another with a sort of thing that you cannot understand, only to be attacked by these plant-like creatures that seem to thirst for blood. After managing to do a good job in fending off both of them, a large beast emerged from the water, a kraken, intent on destroying the bridge that the party was trying to cross. With the most of the group being sensible enough to leave, one of the party, the barbarian Goliath, Rom, decided to charge at the creature in search of honor, only to be nearly killed and nearly losing the life of his comrades as well. But due to some quick thinking, some fast spellcasting, and a general lack of interest from the Kraken, and there is no problem. You all are now running through the woods to get a bit of distance away from the fight, panting, breathing heavily as you're feeling either just the adrenaline wearing off. Aki, and
Hold it.
Aki.
Savage.
I'm trying.
Savage.
For the
I just
record.
like what's happening in the chat right now.
For the record, Aya is a character I play in Mac's other game that's currently on hold, so...
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm so used to calling him that. And it doesn't help that your name's very similar to as well.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. No, Aki, is very hurt, and is currently, as the running continued along, was helped out by the orcish cleric of war.
Level 5, guys.
What else would an orc be a cleric of? I said, because what else would an orc be a cleric of?
I played an
Life.
orc cleric of life.
I've seen an orc
And
cleric of death too.
Also, I also really shouldn't be like making fun of orcs, seeing as I'm playing one elsewhere.
Yeah, maybe don't.
No, it always comes to bite you in the ass. But yes,
Sometimes literally.
Aki, you are being carried almost by Sanathar.
Sarah.
How do you spell that? You put in chat.
I have wings.
Let me fix that, yeah.
I don't need carried.
She doesn't ask your permission. Flint, you are kind of just holding on to Wolfie as you guys just continue to charge through the woods. Neekolas, hell, you jumped up on him.
I'm also dragging Grom, by the way.
Yeah, you're dragging Grong along, and hell, Neekolas, you can fit on Wolfie with Flint. You two are both. Flint might still be medium, but you're small, and Flint's a small medium, so you both can fit on there at this moment. Wouldn't allow it in combat, but I will allow it for get the fuck away, get the fuck away, get the fuck away. But
oh nice, so we are sitting on the wolf and we are dragging Grom behind us.
Well, the wolf has a +4 to strength, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but just for my mental image, I like that idea.
Yeah, and then Arizima, you are just kind of floating along with your wings until they finally fade out, and you run, and all you run for at least a solid 5-10 minutes before eventually.
Actually, knowing that we were safe, I would probably dispel my necrotic shroud as soon as possible because that is not a fun thing for people to see.
All right, so that's dropped very quickly, and
we checks against that, don't we?
Yes, you do,
no,
but I'm not going to be cruel and say that you guys are close enough to make a check. You're needed.
It's only when I cast it, and when I cast it, there was no one around me.
Okay.
So it's an initial cast. So that's it.
But yes. So then, with that in mind, eventually, Xanathar just kind of stops and slides into what you guys see to be just a bit of dirt, only for it to give way underneath her into almost a bit of a pit. As she slides down into it, she turns around mid-sliding, just there's a thud as her back impacts against what sounds to be a wall. Do you all follow in?
I'm gonna get off Fluffy first.
Well, I mean,
Alright, you
I'm
just
currently being
leap off
carried.
Fluffy. Alright. Yeah, Aki, you were put down at this point.
Go in last.
I don't need.
I go in.
Everyone gets inside, and she just puts the bit of dirt back up.
I'm sort of focusing on looking at the future. Not actually for any gameplay effect, but other than we have to roll initiative. But I'm sort of focusing ahead and just sort of go down, sort of focusing on the future.
All right. We should be safe here. You're lucky. This is a place I come to often in case situations like this occur. It's close enough that I can make a trip out to it every few days, so that way I don't forget it exists. That way it stays here.
Now that we're
sighing, I'm like, I really could use a mug of ale right now.
Now that we're all safe, Ezra is gonna put his hands on Kath's shoulders and ask, "Are you okay?"
Kath just looks up. I'll be fine. I was more terrified for you. What were you thinking fighting a fucking kraken?
Something came over me and clouded my judgment. It still tugs at my mind, but I feel I have overcome it.
I'm gonna put my hand on Aki, and I'm gonna heal her for 3.
By the way,
thanks.
the rest of you just see me like put my hands out awkwardly, and then I talk to the air.
I mean, we're used to it at this
I know
point.
that where Kath is supposed to be, and I say, looks like you have about the same questions as I have. What were you thinking, Ezra?
Seriously, you could have got us all killed.
To be fair, Kath says over your shoulder, Ezra, I think it was your barbarian friend. And then she just waits for a response, and then she just throws her hands up and says, why can they not...
I'm gonna hand the rest of the 40 arrows to you, Cloud.
Meanwhile, I'm looking around and seeing if, and asking, is anyone particularly badly hurt?
I crack.
Everyone. Well, actually, no. Aki, Grom. I think those were the main 2.
Yeah, I'm not gonna heal Grom, but I'm gonna heal Aki for like.
I can do it if you want me to. I still have a lot of my magic left. Xanathar says, stepping forward.
Sure, if that's fine by you.
That's of course fine. Are you fine with me healing you some, Aki?
Yeah, thanks.
Ezra is gonna...
Wow, that's a max roll. How much more do you need?
Oh, neat. Let me just do a check. So plus 31.
So 31?
What? No, I need one more. I'm at 23 out of 24.
Well, and I think that's good enough, and she'll just stand back and say, "Does that feel better?"
Ah, thanks. Yeah, that's better.
Yes. My healing magic has come in many uses, she says, kind of just dusting her hands off.
Yeah,
Ezra's gonna sort of
See that?
look down at. I feel like he got hit by one of the tree people, so like probably like some thorn marks.
Yeah, there are some thorns in your side, and you just kind of like grab them and rip them out.
I could use a bit of a heal as well.
Of course. She walks over and heals you as well. Not so good roll there, but still.
I mean, I was down 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
So.
then she just tops you off. Anyone else? I still have a few more left in me.
I'm
And
literally down
Ezra-
1 hit point. I'm not gonna say anything.
Ezra's
As long-
gonna sort of rest his forehead in his palm and say, I am somewhat low on energy after that fight, but there is not much that you or anyone else can do about that. I
Just gonna
merely
say
need a
as-
chance to rest a while.
I'm
Rest
just
your
gonna say,
body.
as long as everyone else is fine, I could probably do with some healing myself.
You
we should
want me
probably
to heal
see-
you, or do you think you are fine with your own abilities?
I actually don't know if I can use lay on hands on myself.
Lay on hands on yourself?
Hmm.
If it's a range of touch,
Pretty sure you can. Yeah.
Yeah, if I can, then I'm fine.
Yeah, I'll say you can.
Okay.
Are we gonna get the opportunity for a short rest, at least? So no, I think you said no to long rest, but I don't know if you said anything about short
Well,
rest.
upon further conclusion. Well, I would like to make a push. It might make us go into exhaustion territory, as we still have another 11 hours to go. Gods.
I think we might want to look after our friend here first, and I gesture at Grom, who's lying there on the ground. I mean,
Yes.
Especially since we were already planning on.
Can't just let him bleed out here.
I don't remember
I am
carry him.
also
He's big.
completely. I doubt I could contribute meaningfully to any other circumstances we might find ourselves in unless I'm given the chance to rest.
Yes, because you were so conveniently useful that last fight, Kath says with a bit of a grin look.
He looks at her, smiles, and rolls his eyes.
Can I use
I'm-
message on the direction he's looking and see if I can
Yes.
talk to her? I'm gonna cast message and ask hello. Through the
Very
message.
curious what happens here.
Kath turns her head over to Arizima, and Arizima, you hear in your head, "Hello."
Okay.
Oh, wow.
If your ace is he's crazy in my book. I message back, you can talk?
You get a response, "Of course I can fucking talk. I've been trying to talk to you all ever since we woke up in this infernal place."
Arizima looks extremely confused.
But
So now she decides to talk to me. Kath just says out loud, looking at you, Ezra.
I'm literally just pointing at
Ezra
her.
says in Undercommon, have you, what is he gonna say? It is quite frustrating that they cannot perceive you.
Kath
Yes.
is real?
Yeah,
I
for
say
some-
very confusedly out loud.
In the meantime, I've been
started-
trying to figure out how long Grom is gonna stay unconscious. So I don't know if I can do something
Let me
for that.
roll 1d4.
Do
Or
by the way, do any of you other people speak Undercommon?
1 hour. He's gonna get up in probably like 40 minutes. And you
Okay,
can
so
tell
it's
he's gonna
probably
be
looking
pissed.
pretty good. So I've just been examining them, and I look up now, and
He doesn't look like he's gonna be under much longer. He looks like shit because he only has 1 HP, but
Out of
he's not gonna be
40,
under
yeah.
much longer.
He looks smashed.
But yeah, do any of you speak Undercommon to know what I say?
no.
I
Alright.
speak undercommon languages, but I don't speak undercommon.
I speak
Like,
deep
I
speak.
speak underdark languages. Sorry.
Either way, she says, looking back, Seems as though there might be some magic at play, although I'm curious why such a simple cantrip would work.
Same.
I look at Arizima suspiciously. Why can you suddenly hear her?
I'm using a spell I know. It's message.
Interesting.
Yes.
Do you have any spells that can bring her back to so we can see her?
No, I really don't. I can, like, if I knew what she looked like, I could create an illusion of her, but...
I look at Senna. Have you ever heard of something like that in this place? Like a person being there, but not really being there?
Sanathar turns her head, looks at you confused, and says, "How the fuck would I know if I can't see them, or hear them, or do
I'm
anything
sorry.
about them?"
One of us can apparently see them. Like maybe there was someone else with similar condition around here. I don't know. I've
there we
met
go.
a new person here.
I've not heard anything of that matter, no. Forgive my violent outbreak, but no, I haven't heard of anything like that.
Okay.
Sort of deity level creature. Surely someone sent to protect Ezra.
DT level.
Kath just like tilts her head as she hears that part and just looks up at you, Ezra, and says, "You're the one who gets to pop that bubble."
Maybe someone who actually has a corner could roll a check here. I don't.
Ezra just
Or familiar or something.
Arcana checks all around.
If anybody...
I'm not going to because there's no reason why I would know anything about this.
Arcana?
Yeah, if you guys want to try and maybe think of some... Well, once again, with you guys not really having memories, you're kind of just digging in the back of your mind to see what you can get.
Yeah, well, we have a
11,
general understanding of...
11, Aki,
Ooh.
you know there are spells to shift people to other planes, like, you know, like planes that overlap with yours, like a demi-plane or stuff like that, but you can't think of anything that would do something like this, especially nothing that would work with message.
Well, the
no.
shadow plane would work like that.
That's the first thing I thought of, but Flint would not know that.
Well,
Yeah.
Arizima, you draw up the shadow. Like, some reason, the idea of the shadow plane comes to mind for you.
Oh.
Because,
Ha!
well, you don't know why, but all of a sudden you're just like, yeah, this could happen in the shadow plane. It's sort of a... Wait, the fuck's the shadow
Warlock-
plane?
Warlocks are rather aware of the shadow plane, so it might just be from a
Well,
good memory or something. I don't know.
yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm going for here.
Cool. What have I done
So
in the
yeah,
shadow
but
plane?
you
to
have an
find out?
idea. However, that's even then that doesn't sound completely right. Because, forgive me if I'm wrong, but the shadow plane is a bit more like...
The shadow plane, so what the shadow plane is like you can kind of see into it if you have a certain ability. People from the shadow plane can see into the natural plane, and in the shadow plane you also move faster.
That would explain a lot. That
Yeah.
would explain a lot, although... How did she get in the shadow plane?
Yeah.
If she is in the shadow plane, she could be in the shadow plane. For all you know, she couldn't be.
So I'm going to voice this. She might possibly be in the shadow plane. Not 100% sure I remember exactly what that is, but I
when
remember something about the shadow plane being able to do that.
he says that I actually don't have Arcana proficiency, but
I don't either, but I just figured
can I
out right
roll
now.
Arcana just to know if I've ever heard anything about the shadow plane?
I mean, neither Aki or Arizima have had Arcana proficiency, so I'm not going to stop you.
Okay.
I have Arcana proficiency.
Got
Oh,
him.
you do? Oh, you
Yeah.
just don't have good int. Okay.
Why was
No.
that with advantage?
No idea what that plane is.
Neekolas. Yeah, magic can teleport people between planes. That's not the craziest thing you can heard of, but you can't really contribute more than, yeah, that makes sense about magic teleporting them across planes. Ezra, you basically get what Aki gets.
Cool.
So yeah, nothing really new. So yeah, your best bet at the moment, shadow plane.
Coolio.
I look at Senna. Do you know if anyone around here is a powerful enough wizard to teleport people between planes?
Alignment trait. Mildly evil aligned. Well, that's concerning.
No, she says, shaking her head. I mean, the most powerful person I know of is Lindwig, and he's not a wizard. He's more similar to you, she says, pointing over to you, Arizima.
Ooh, another warlock, huh? That's interesting.
Additional devils?
I don't know what Arizima is in character, but out of character, that's interesting.
So you're like a voodoo wizard?
To be fair, that is actually one of the more accurate descriptions I've ever heard. She says, just Sanathar just says, looking at you, Aki, with a nodding head.
Wait, so who's the voodoo wizard?
You
That's
are.
what Aki just called you.
Me? Okay.
I hate to interject, Wolfie says, speaking up. But, Chief, good? He's just kind of, like, looking up from where he's been nuzzling Grom.
No, he's not the chief.
He's gonna be fine, I say. He should wake up soon.
Okay.
He's also definitely not the chief.
Who, Chief?
Hi.
I don't think we actually have one at the moment.
Yeah, it's kind of like a democracy.
What's democracy?
I have no idea, but I remember it being better than that, so...
I
Uh.
assume that would be a history roll?
Yeah, what was that?
Sure,
Was
go
it
ahead and roll history.
Momo?
All this stuff I don't know how to do.
Tries to find history on my character sheet. 3!
Nicholas
Aki.
is not
I'm
very
changing my
It's a
dice color.
fancy book you read in a textbook. It's a fancy word you read in a textbook. Ezra,
I like
Ezra,
textbooks.
Arizima, you guys have a basic understanding that it's ruled by the people, not by a king.
Hey,
I
hang
don't
on,
think,
wait, I remember a textbook.
Democracy would be a good idea.
I read a
Thing.
textbook.
What?
Hey, you don't know that? You don't know what a democracy
No, he
is?
knows. No.
No.
Yargon. Aki fully knows she read it in a textbook. You can't remember the contents of the textbook or anything, but yeah, you are certain you read it in a textbook.
Yeah,
You
no,
can't remember the textbook. You can't remember where you read it, but you know that was in a
Has
textbook.
Flint rolled
No, I'm
the
just amazed
history,
that I
by the
remember the
way?
text.
He hasn't.
I did not know.
Splint
I
rolled.
guess I could.
Splint
Why not?
rolls.
Yeah, let's see if Flint knows what democracy is.
I'm horrible at
Oh,
intelligence.
16.
Wow.
Flint, you actually
Dang it.
do have an understanding of what democracy is. Well, for the
Gosh,
most part,
dang it.
most dwarven kingdoms are controlled by a king. Of course, the smaller communities might have like a town leader or a, like individual
Tribune.
families might have like chiefs, but some groups that are mostly made up of refugees or whatnot, or just a bunch of dwarves thrown together, might choose their leader. So there are some dwarven communities that are more democratic. Most are hereditary.
Well, that sounds like pure heresy.
I mean, you don't. Well, yes, it does kind of sound heretical for dwarves not to have like a chief or something or a proper family tribe, and you feel that. But at the same time, you know that's happened, and you don't know why that's happened, but you know that's happened.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna explain to everyone what democracy is.
Oh, dang it.
Very rough, basic, elementary grade
Yeah, I
statement
just,
of what
like,
democracy is, but you guys kind of get the clue now.
I mean,
I'm
that's
a
all you
little bit
need to get.
frustrated.
That's all you need to get
I
US
don't think we-
presidency these days. So hey,
Wolfie turns his head. So, we choose leader.
yeah, I choose me.
yeah,
I
That's how this
do
works.
yours
not
is
choose
probably
you.
enough to just decide
I
what
choose
you want.
chief, Wolfie says. Yeah. Yeah, he chooses chief, alright.
I don't
just
think
says, looking up at you, Aki.
I just don't question it, Hoot.
I think Flint should be in charge.
Mm.
Ezra will nod and say, I am certainly not the most leaderly, and Kath is not visible to the rest of you, which would make leadership difficult.
No fucking kidding,
Don't
she says
want the
beside you.
job.
I
Look,
would prefer to be leader, but if I must agree to you, then I will.
I look around, and if you want to entrust this position to me, I'm willing to take it.
Ezra nods his head.
I look uncomfortable, but I nod.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
You get my vote, Flint.
Dwarves are always the leadery ones, right?
Xanathar from behind you guys
Yes.
just kind of slow claps and says, that was the most awkward decision I have ever witnessed.
Nobody asked you,
Congratulations. Sanathar, jackass.
No, it's
Are
definitely
we taking a
Sarah.
rest, by the way? No.
Listen, you guys can take her. We can sleep here. I think I got this place well hid enough that it should work. I made this as a bunker in case a situation like this occurred.
I nod slowly. Well, if you think we are safe enough here, then I think it's probably a best decision to stay here until the morning, then continue on when we're all rested.
Case a
Do I get my
situation like
side
this
points
occurred?
back? Does
Because I think
nothing
it's
go
also-
wrong during this rest, and I get my side points back?
I will ask people to tell me who's going to watch. I need 4 positions for a watch filled.
I'll take first.
Sanathar
I'm
will-
always.
And
Yeah, I'm
always
I
watching.
only will be resting. I will only be meditating for 4 hours.
So you can take
I
2
should point
watches.
out,
I'm on
because
first. I'll take
health.
first watch.
Alright, Sanathar will take first watch as well.
I'm
Or she'll
always
take-
watching.
Alright.
Yeah, I can
Colin-
definitely take one of the watches.
Okay, here.
Take
For this
second.
matter, we'll make it simple. Everyone except for Arizima, roll me a perception roll. Arizima, roll me a perception roll with advantage.
Oh, sweet.
How's a 21 do you?
Really good.
Where are you?
See, I like this dice color. For some reason, the orange
Oh,
seems
wow.
to like me.
15.
Oh
Also,
yeah.
point
This orange
today.
dice got my back.
16. Wow. Yeah, perception checks all around. So the second lowest was an 18, and the lowest overall was a 15. I'd say that's a very
Second highest was an 18.
second
Which is
highest
what
was
you
an
were
18,
looking for, right?
and the lowest was a 15. Yes, but I also wanted to see how far away it was, and considering the fact you all got relatively high levels of success, yes, for the most part, the night is tense. It's very tense because it's several times throughout the night you all hear shuffling and scratching as entities seem to move above the ground above you. It doesn't wake those who are sleeping, but it's very obvious that there are entities moving, things shifting. You can hear creatures at that point moving around. At some point you even hear something kind of just going.
By the
Are
way,
there sirens? I swear to God.
By the way, I just want to note that Ezra rolled out his bedroll and then sat in the corner meditating.
Kath lays down on your bedroll for you.
Yep, that was the point of that.
She lays down on your bedroll waiting for you.
Is there a? Is there
Alright,
like
so
an
I
indent
now
or
have 9
something?
side points again, right?
Yeah, everybody gets a long rest benefits. Go on ahead and
Okay.
shout it down that you guys
Woo.
have a long rest.
Is there like an indent when cat lies down? Like, does it indent or does it just not care?
No.
Oh.
It doesn't seem to change any for any of you.
I'm gonna spend
I'll
my
look at
time
him
talking to
suspiciously.
Kath through message.
Kath will respond for the first couple of hours, and then she'll say, okay, despite the fact that I don't seem to be on your guys' plane, I need sleep. So I'm going to take a rest.
Okay.
Night.
Me
Yeah,
on
that
the-
she's going to sleep.
So I'm literally just pointing at Ezra's bed the whole entire time.
Yes, it gets kind of weird. At several points, Wolfie just kind of looks at you, looks at Ezra bed, looks at you. I think you need to be more forward with your mating desires.
Oh god!
I will.
Wolfie
glare at
is the
him.
best NPC!
Can I roll
I just love
intimidation to
my
glare at him?
NPCs.
Is it called Wolfie now, or are we still going by Fluffy?
Oh yeah, Fluffy. That's right.
Fluffy.
Can I roll intimidation to glare at him?
Go ahead.
That one, please. Damn it.
21.
He kind of sinks down a bit, but
I would like to pet him.
all right.
response
But
to
the
this.
petting seems to make him feel better.
Aw.
I actually have
Oh,
really
At
good
some point
intimidation.
when Ezra gets up from his watch, Ezra is gonna have some of his ration and then feed a bit to Hoot.
Hoot is a
takes
spoiled
it.
brat.
Hoot takes it, chews it, and he swallows it. Looks over at you, Ezra. So, you're talking to someone who we can't see or hear, but you can see and hear. And it seems like magical communication seems to work.
Ezra, Hoot is talking telepathically, right?
Yes, he
Okay, then
can't talk
Ez-
vocally.
Ezra will reply telepathically, "It seems so."
I mean, either you have a desire for an imaginary girlfriend so hard that somehow you manage to manifest it, or there's some weird magic going on here. I imagine the first one is more likely, so you might need to get yourself laid.
Ezra,
Can I hear this?
Ezra,
Aki, if you want to, you can hear it.
Awesome, I point at Arizima.
Ezra just
Wait, she points at me just randomly? Okay.
Yeah, I just point at
Ezra
Arizima.
seems kind of taken aback by this.
Yeah.
Although Ezra also... Ezra is fairly taken aback by this.
Although he completely agrees.
But yes,
You're right, I never thought about that.
well, either way, I am going to go back to rest. Good night. With that, he just kind of sleeps. I don't know why I make all of my NPCs so savage, but it's so damn satisfying.
It is.
Who is up during Ezra's watch, other than obviously Arizima? Arizima,
Arizima, yeah.
yeah,
that
Arizima.
one.
There we go.
Screwed up like 3 times in a row. Got it. I feel your pain, Yargon.
Do you though?
I mean, I don't even
Do you?
technically need a long rest. So.
I mean, if we're gonna be long marching tomorrow, sleep is a very good thing.
Do you mention that to anyone, or?
Well, I thought that the orc made it pretty clear that she wanted to just power through tomorrow.
I mean, I
Yeah.
still wouldn't be sleeping, but you don't know
Yeah,
why.
you wouldn't be sleeping, but I was saying that Neekolas should probably be sleeping regardless of whether he's injured or not.
If Neekolas doesn't sleep, I would probably go up to him. I will watch over if you make you comfortable.
Yeah, I'll probably like take a watch at some point.
Yeah.
But like, do you take an early watch
I imagine
because
you
you were
take
still
first watch.
fresh? I mean, it would
I
make
imagine you take
sense for you to
first
take an early watch because you were
That'll
still
work.
fresh when the rest of us were kind of worn out.
Mm-hmm.
So, who is taking the late watches is my question, because that's when I'd be up.
Okay, well, we have 6 people, so we know Cloud is probably taking first watch. I think the orc lady was probably going to take second watch.
By
Who's
the
got
way,
the-
I would not go to bed until Grom is awake.
I'm on
Okay.
first watch.
So you probably
He
take.
seems to just continue to sleep through it. As he regains consciousness, he slowly drifts into proper sleep.
Okay.
But yeah, I assume there's a moment where you can tell that he's no longer like passed the fuck out, and now he's
Okay,
just.
yeah.
sleeping.
Let's just say that I took the first watch, and when I noticed that he was not gonna wake up, I just woke up the next person and went to bed.
All right.
So
So-
Tetris and Rasp, and then not Tetris, sorry, Flint and Ezra are on first. Then we
No,
have
Ezra's resting first. Ezra's
okay.
awake at the end of the night.
I don't know why we're putting so much thought into this.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Ezra is going to talk to you, but I want to know if anyone else is awake.
I think it's just up to Aki.
First watch, as I said.
Yeah, first watch. Oh, okay, we have like everyone on first watch, and
Well, I'll take whatever watch, I don't really care.
the
Yeah,
third watch we need covered. We just
Alright,
need
I'll
third
take
watch
third then.
covered.
Yeah, she doesn't really care.
Yep. So it's just fourth watch. It's just you and me then.
Yeah. Okay. So
Just the dodgy folk.
I mean, once again,
Hey.
like somebody else already asked, I don't know why you guys are being so meticulous about this when I've already told you what's going to happen during the night.
Well, he
E-
wanted to
Ezra
talk to
wants
me.
Yeah, Ezra wants to talk to Arizima.
Alright, let's have Ezra talk to Arizima, no one else is awake.
So, you have magic, but it is different from a wizard's magic. Right.
Yes.
And
What about it?
I'm just curious how much you know of the source of your own powers. The source of my powers elude me.
I believe my I'm going to roll deception on this, but I believe my powers come from my mind or somewhere within me.
Oh,
Definitely got to roll deception on that.
and,
Roll deception with.
With it, sorry.
I was gonna say that sort of knows what powers that come from the mind.
Yeah, so I
are
was gonna
like.
say with disadvantage, but that's already pretty low. So,
Yeah.
Rasp, roll me insight.
All
I
right.
said the mind or my just. I was trying to go for more of like a sorcerer type vibe, but you know.
Oh yeah,
well.
no, she's totally bullshitting you.
Yeah, I really did terrible in that roll.
Ezra will nod as if he believes you, but Ezra is unconvinced by what you said. I feel my powers come from the same place. My mind, my discipline of body and mind.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Let's see. I wanted to do something, but I don't think I actually want to do that anymore. Yep. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay, so then, you all awake next morning, and as you all wake up, there's a loud thud as Grom stands up. Where the fuck did the Kraken go?
Oh no.
We dragged you away from it, you idiot.
Can
What
we
were
have
you
tied him
thinking?
Why
up
did you
in the
take
mean-
me away from my kill?
There was no way you were ever going to kill that thing. Why did you try to fight
Because
something
I was
Hey.
going to. It
Mac.
challenged me. I was
Mac.
going to kill it. What?
No, you weren't.
I cast minor illusion on the doorway to make it look like it's closed.
Ezra.
There's no doorway.
Yeah,
Oh
we were-
wait,
we're
I
in
thought
a
this was
hole
like
that
a.
got
There was
Yeah.
a patch of dirt that collapsed
Wow.
like on a pillar, and it was like on a pillar, and the way Sanathar hit it unhooked the pillar, allowing the dirt to fall through. You all
Is
slid
there-
down, and then she reset it.
Is there? Okay, so he
There's
doesn't
no
know how to get out.
physical exit.
I was making sure he didn't know how to get out.
Ezra
No,
is
you
going
guys
to
can
say,
very-
I understand your intentions, my friend, but I do not feel you were even harming it. I was there when your blows were landing, and they did not seem to be phasing the creature whatsoever.
Look, Rom, you almost got yourself killed, which, okay, that's your business, but more importantly, you almost got others in this party killed, and...
Everyone
can't
trying
do
to
things
help.
like that.
I lost one of my wooden stick things. I hold up my thing.
You
Because-
lost 2 of them.
Yeah, I lost 2 of these trying to fucking deal with that kraken.
I had it.
No,
Look, you just
you
have
didn't.
to understand that we have to make
I can-
decisions and do actions as a group, and we can't just all do what we want.
Well, you know how groups work. Groups work by grabbing a bunch of weapons and then beating the shit to death.
You know what? You go do that. Have fun. We'll see you approximately never. You get eaten by the damn thing.
You know what? That sounds like a good idea. Grom tried his hardest to make you all lock in, but no, you guys don't seem to. So that's fine. Grom then, at that point, just kind of kicks the pillar out, and the ground just boom down.
How
and
do
he
you know
starts.
how to do that?
Shh. The GM fucked up there. Okay, not gonna lie. And he just
Ezra is going to say, if that is truly the way you feel, then the exit is that way.
Make an intelligence check. His intelligence -1. I know that.
wait. So what did you do?
Ezra motioned him to the exit.
Okay, then yeah, he just starts walking and Fluffy starts following him. Grom looks behind him at Fluffy, who's kind of lowered his head.
Grom. I point him the opposite direction from the kraken. That way. Have fun.
Yeah, I only pointed him at the door, so if you want to, like, try to send him away
Fluffy.
from where the Kraken was...
Grom walks up, stops, turns to look around at Fluffy, looks at you guys. Fluffy, you, Chief? Keep them safe. And with that, he marches off. So
I am
yes,
not
that
taking
is how...
responsibility for this.
I want to be a wolf that will follow my every woman murder all the party members.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
Nothing?
Hashtag spot the dodgy one.
I just shake my head. Well, if that's his decision,
Do to change it now.
So does that mean that, Flint gets to tell Fluffy that he needs to take a bath?
What's a bath?
Yeah, we've noticed.
By the
And we
way,
could
Yeah, what is a bath?
we will worry about that part later.
before we leave, Ezra, you said there was a stone wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ezra will carve the name of his lost dagger into the wall.
What's the name?
It was like Hidyer or something like that.
Wow, I can't believe you'd forget. It's almost like you're in this game.
It was Hidyer.
Yeah,
It
you
was
don't
Hidyer.
really care about the dagger if you don't even remember the name.
It
Yeah.
was Hidyer.
Of course it was.
Sure. Right.
Yes, so with that, Senathar then rises and says, well, seems like he's going to go have fun.
I feel like you could make a living out of just remembering things around here.
Well, the
Neekolas
problem is
nods his head.
most people are too busy foraging, scavenging, growing, hunting food for that sort of
Yep.
trade to evolve.
I feel like you misunderstand how trade works.
I think you misunderstand my use of the word trade.
I think we should move on.
Yes,
agree.
so
The nods.
Indeed.
let's pack it all up and let's head for that town.
I like the sounds of that, Senathar says, grabbing the stuff. Oh, right, before I forget. And with that, she's gonna, use create food and water once again.
I'm just never gonna lose a ration here. Fine.
I ate rations, but Ezra is also going to eat this.
I will take
Ezra.
I'll eat this time.
As you wake up, you notice Cat's no longer with you. As you kind of turn around to, grab everything, you notice Cat's no longer in the room.
Did I see
Okay.
her leave? Oh no, never mind. I can't see her. Ha ha! I'm funny. I can just talk to her if I know where she is.
As I see him looking around, I say, she's no longer here, is she?
I assume she is scouting ahead the way she has been.
That's a bit of a...
Yeah, we have to find a way to bring her back into this plane.
Oh, cat.
How?
Cat? Kath. Right?
The real question is, how can he see into this shadow plane?
Well, he's a bit
I have
special, isn't he?
abilities that give me sight of things unseen. Perhaps it is related to that.
Well, I
Maybe.
mean, she's certainly unseen.
We
Are
can
we
see
heading
in
now?
town if you-
Senathar says from above.
Ezra is following. I
Yeah,
assume
we
we.
can see in town if maybe we find someone who knows more about this. And...
Perhaps.
He left.
Yeah, let us continue walking.
Alright.
Ezra, while we're walking, will try to catch up to Sanathar at some point and ask her a question.
Alright. Go on ahead.
I have a question for you that may or may not be of some importance, depending on how my past was. But have you ever seen anyone with tattoos like mine? He rolls up his sleeve to show off the intricate patterns down his arm. I have them, And Kath has a similar silver tattoo around a burn on her neck.
She glances over at the tattoos, rubs her chin a bit. I think one person can help you with that, she says, gritting her teeth.
Ezra nods and then carries on moving.
All right, then. So then, you all are content to follow Sanathar to safe space.
Yep.
the
I'm going to
plan.
insist on riding
Yeah, I'm
on
gonna ask Fluffy if he's willing to scout ahead a bit.
Fluffy,
Out of the
or
group.
I imagine by that point, are you using Hoot to scout ahead, Yargon?
yeah, if Hoot's willing.
Yeah, Hoot's willing. He'll nod his head. Yeah, sure. I can do that, boss.
Before we leave,
Cool.
I'm just gonna ritual cast comprehend languages, because why not?
That seems like a good idea. Does that only last for 10
Ritual
minutes?
cast would require you to
Sit down for
and
10
do a
minutes.
ritual.
Yeah, that's what I said before we leave. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Doesn't it only
Okay.
last
10
for
minutes.
like 10 minutes?
it lasts for an hour.
Oh, okay.
So if anyone decides to speak anything for an hour,
I repeatedly
All right,
call
then.
you a
So then,
dick in-
yeah.
Deep
First
speech.
hour,
what,
nothing
what'd you say?
happens.
I repeatedly call you a dick in deep speech once I figure this out.
Well, you don't
Um,
know.
Yeah, once I figure this out.
Ezra would have said something in Undercommon if Kath was still here, but Kath isn't here, so Ezra doesn't speak any languages other than Common.
Yeah, well, that's beside the point. Is so I can catch. I'm trying to not mention this from now on.
No,
Gonna
I'm
do it.
just
You
saying
need
that,
to
like,
mention
you
it.
don't really get anything from having done it. I understand
Yeah.
why you did it and that you did do it.
I know, like, occasionally you hear curses from Sanathar as, you know, things happen, but in terms of, like, actual things going bad, no.
I'm just gonna start messaging you, Mac, whenever I use that.
Go right
I-
ahead. Feel free to, for anyone who wants to try and do something unbeknownst to the party, feel free to message me.
If you're ritual casting, you should probably tell us, because that is 10 minutes if you
Yeah.
sit in there chanting. It's
Yeah.
very obvious.
Yeah, if it's something obvious
That's
like
true.
that, then I'm not even gonna let you hide it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't have a tent, do I? Gosh dang, that would be actually useful now.
Oh yeah, with third level, I've got Ignite Object.
I thought you got that like 5th level.
No, that's Ignite Creature.
Oh, okay. You can just you better not light my book on fire.
I
I'll have to get another one for my patron.
I appreciate the fact that as soon as you mention a tent, my instant reaction is, how do I get around this? Oh, I can burn it down.
Alright, are we good to continue on moving?
Yes, we were
Yeah.
good to move.
Alright, second
That's
hour, third hour, and as you guys approach the third hour, you notice to the north yet another plane similar to the one that you had just sort of exited. Whereas the rest of this area is jagged and kind of strutting in different bits of land held together by trees, rock formations, roots, vines, various different plant life and rock formations. You once again see another flat green plane. However, this time, you notice that the entities traveling on that one are much larger than things you've seen before. I'd stay away from that part if I were you, Sanathar says.
I thought
There's
that-
some really
Ezra is
nasty
going-
beasts over there.
I think
Ezra is
same.
going to speak up and say, Kath warned me of powerful creatures in these parts.
Let's just say that even in places you've traveled many times, this place is still dangerous. Yes, Luke. Just add some trees and plants to connect the areas, and yeah.
What are those things? I'm gonna ask Sana.
Well, some of them are various different creatures. Last time I went down there, I had the misfortune of running into this sort of lion with wings, and it tried to destroy me.
That's
Can I
Sphinx.
roll nature to see if I recognize any of these things?
Sphinx.
awesome. How
Um,
about you don't just say that?
Sorry,
Yes.
just out of character.
Out
Um,
of character,
I know
but roll
exactly.
aware.
Feel free to
Okay,
roll me both an Arcana and a Nature in case.
both of them.
Both of them, because it might be more of a magical creature than a natural creature, you know?
All the knowledge
Oof,
checks.
that Nate.
I just always feel like I shouldn't roll because Flint wouldn't know about this stuff. Like, he's
Wow, look at
not
me.
that smart.
Flint,
Well, he
you're
might know
good.
from his past life. You never know.
Nature.
Actually, well, I guess you do know,
I
but
mean,
you
it's a
know.
D20 system, so there's always like the chance that I just roll on a 20 and I just magically know, but there's just no reason why I would. Like, intelligence is the only stat I'm not really good at.
Maybe you
So-
killed
Then
a
that's
sphinx
fine.
in your last life.
Yeah. So I'm just not gonna roll.
Well, you
Um,
don't know what your previous thing was, so
Yeah.
I guess.
you could have been a hill dwarf, for all you know.
Isn't
Well, I
he
know
a-
I'm a mountain dwarf because I have the stats of a mountain dwarf, but
Except that you could
I
have
guess I
been...
will roll because right ahead.
Oh!
Yeah,
Oof.
Okay then. So, Ezra, you can see various different creatures, and you get the idea. Yeah, no, we don't want to fight them. You see large beasts, some monstrosities. Heck, you think you see maybe even a couple of undead at some time. Neekolas, yeah, you see some nasty shit out there in terms of animal life. You swear, for some reason, you see these large reptile creatures, and you narrow your eyes at them, and the word dinosaur repeats in your brain.
Wait, you what?
Oh,
Good
decent.
hunting.
They're fun to
Flint.
fight.
I've never done that.
Flint,
Tyrannosauruses.
as you're looking around, you see something sort of hovering grimly. This sort of ball of flesh held together with these dried husks just kind of leaning outside. And as it turns to the left, it has one large singular eye rotting and a massive wide open jaw being followed by several other shambling creatures.
I'm sorry,
And you
what?
just feel that this is undead, and you can feel your desire to cleanse them.
It's Kavan.
Oh god, come on.
Guys, rip the horn off its head, that's the only way to kill it.
would I at least know how strong it is?
You know the other ones are just basic, like, yeah, you know some good ways to get rid of them, but it's the large one that you're like, this is concerning. As
So I would know that
you
I
realize that this is some sort of entity from another world that's somehow been manipulated by necrotic magic, and it is just rubbing you in all the wrong ways.
That's
I would not want to be
These-
rubbed by
These
that.
are vile creatures.
Yeah, I was also gonna say that, Luke. I don't want to be rubbed in any way by that.
What do they all look like? Like-
What creature do you want to see? Is
Like,
the better
well,
answer.
like, how big
I
are
need to
they?
get bullshit in there.
Like, are they
Medium
like?
to huge. There are some medium to huge entities in there.
You can find some
look at-
huge entities.
I look at Senna, are these actively threatening any of the village or anything? Anyone?
No.
else, you know?
No, there's
then
a
it's
reason
probably-
why we have a sanctuary that we consider safe.
It's probably best we leave them be for now. But we
Yes.
should move on quickly.
Indeed.
Ezra is going to speak aloud to himself. Be safe, Kath.
Very well.
Go not
And with,
this.
and with that,
Well,
the third hour. Oh, make sure that's all here. Third hour passes. Fourth hour passes. Fifth hour passes. Sixth hour passes. Seventh hour passes. Eighth hour passes. And with this, you all take a little stop to get some sip of water and just kind of breathe. As you all notice the cliff narrowing up ahead, and you see what seems to be almost a splinter in the wall, whereas at the top it seems as though this area was originally meant to just kind of come into a single closed area. It almost looks as if some entity from the heavens just took like a pickaxe or some large blunt or some large mining equipment and just struck it in the weakest part of the stone structure, breaking through the mountains, the tall, almost, well, practically vertical walls, leading to a bit of a crumbly sort of hole through these walls into a oval sort of into a space beyond. It's just up ahead, she says, pointing through that hole. It doesn't seem like the monsters like to go through there, and we have a few defensive fortifications set up there.
Alright then, let's quickly get some food and drink and then let's continue on. I'd like to be there by nightfall.
Understood? Alright,
I mean,
let's-
the magic thing lasts for 24 hours.
yeah,
right?
yeah, no, I imagine you guys just get some of the food from that out and just munch on it.
I'll offer some to Hoot again.
Tastes like
Yeah,
trash.
I also make sure to feed Fluffy.
Hoot eats it and then just kind of looks back over his shoulder and says, that's funny.
What is?
I mean, I thought I saw something. He just, at this point, jumps around, turns around, just like looking into the distance, but I don't think it's there anymore.
You thought you saw something? What did you think you see?
It looked like a person?
I
Oh,
am
not
going
again.
I'm going to... How far up ahead is he indicating?
He's looking... Well, he's just kind of giving a 1,000-yard stare at the moment.
Guys, Hoot says he
What
thinks
do
he saw something
Those two.
that looked like
Just
a
wanna
person.
quickly roll perception.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me perception.
Yeah, I was wondering if I
I don't
have...
see anything.
I don't really think I have
Damn,
anything that
Neekolas.
helps
Wow.
me, so I am
Betrayed
just gonna
by
roll
the dice.
perception. I was
You
gonna
get
see...
+6 on perception. Wow.
I was gonna
Betrayed
use one of my
by my dice.
psionic abilities, but I don't think any of them actually help me with that. Oh man, that was a
Wait, why
terrible
do I have a
perception roll.
+6 perception?
So then,
No, that was
with
wrong.
that in mind,
That's just a...
Neekolas.
I rolled a 6.
Yeah, Neekolas, everyone, you don't see anything. Neekolas, you stare deep into the woods, and as you stare deeper, you see something approaching. And it's shambling, moving slowly, kind of almost trying to head in your direction before tripping over something, falling, and weakly pushing it up. Self
I
up
cock my
before
head.
continuing on.
Seems like a small creature of some sort is heading this
I'd
way.
like to use my divine sense.
Yeah, you can sense a small group of undead approaching you all.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna tell everyone.
Well, how far off are they? Do you think we can just move on before they get here?
So just take them down. They don't seem too strong. They
Easier
might
to
be a
move
threat
on.
to the village.
I
And
agree.
really don't like them.
Yeah. it
Normally,
would be
I
easier
would
to move
agree
on
with
to
you,
get them.
Flint, but I think it's best if we get into the city, or if we get towards the town. You start to fight one entity, and the next thing you know, another appears, and then another. You need to be careful.
Besides,
Ezra
having walls
is
is
going
always
to-
helpful.
Suggest that we move more stealthily for the rest of the way.
I didn't.
I disagree. I say we make post haste.
I think
Get there as quick as possible.
if we
Yeah,
try and
so I
move
also
stealthily,
think
we won't get
either we
there.
fight these creatures, or we just try to get to the village as quickly as we can.
If we try and move stealthily, we won't get there in time. And
Oh, we're here.
Kath did warn us about fighting things out here. So let's just get going, I think. That's better.
Yeah. Senna is the one who knows the most about this place, so I'm gonna trust her. Let's hurry up and let's head to the village.
Agreed.
Looks like we're following your advice, Sarah. Let's go.
Alright then. With that, you all continue on to the 9th hour, 11th hour, 12th hour, 13th hour. Forgive me, it's kind of weird for here. And as you all approach, you see what seems to be a blockade almost of just wooden barricades and whatnot. And as you approach, you see a figure sitting on top of it, covered in what seem to be just basic cloths, and a sheath along his back, holding what seems to be a long sword. And he slowly looks up. Xanathar, is that you? Aye, Lindwig, it is I.
My name's Sarah.
Oh my gosh.
It is now, the figure says, suddenly at your side. Aki.
Oh, okay.
Can I roll perception for that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I extend a hand. Hi.
Oh!
Wow.
Nice.
What a waste.
Arizima, you watch him slowly just touch his hilt of his sword. He doesn't draw, he just touches the hilt of his sword, and then he's there.
I just
Can I roll Arcana now? No, never mind. I wouldn't know that.
What just happened?
The
It
guy
all-
named Lindwick is kind of just he was about 60 feet away when you all saw him, and he's teleported down next to Aki.
Oh, can I roll anything on this to see what happened?
Roll perception.
All right.
Yeah, I just extend
Like-
a hand.
Okay, I see nothing.
Nothing.
Why are my perception rolls so bad?
Just change your
The
dice.
figure pulls back his hood and looks you up and down, and you see the face of a drow. He seems pretty young for a drow.
How you spell it?
And Lindwick?
Yeah.
As soon as he's there, I'm gonna approach him and extend my hand and say, "Hello there, my name is Flint Fireforge." Who are you?
He shakes Aki's hand, and Flint, as you two lock eyes, you roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
Decent.
Ouch.
Ooh,
Roll me an attack roll.
just with my weapon?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay,
lovely.
he's evil. Can I? have
Yeah,
a
without
or-
as you stare him down, and just as you start to say hello, you two of you lock eyes, and then you all just watch his Flint's hand just reach to his hammer, and he just smacks it down hard onto Lindwick's side.
Ezra
Okay.
immediately draws his long sword and says, "What was the purpose of that?"
The
Do I
fuck?
roll
did-
that just-
Can I
Boots?
grapple, Flint?
Roll me athletics, Flint. We're gonna resist.
I'm gonna use inspiration on this.
The fuck you doing, Flint?
Oh shoot, I need to roll that again. Whoopsies.
I vote,
2 athletics. Ah man.
I vote we take away Flint's leader.
Flint breaks free because he has a higher athletics, and you set the DC, he broke it. So yeah, Flint, you're
Yeah.
fine. And suddenly you're
I'm
back
not
to your
fine.
senses.
What the
If
hell?
he breaks, as I'm grabbing onto him, if he breaks free, can I use shocking grasp?
As you
By
go
the
to
way-
do that, Lindwick just holds up his hand, rubs his side a bit. Don't. This has happened more times than I can count. Let me guess. You're some sort of paladin or someone of a holy sort of inclination?
What do I think right now?
You feel uncontrollable desire to destroy him, but you don't know why.
Oh, decent.
Okay, do I have any way to?
You have control now. That's sort of that was just to see can you resist the sort of adrenaline go.
Okay.
You just smack.
Ezra is going to,
So I'm going to attack again, and then I just sort of pull back, and I stare at him for a minute, and what just? I don't know why I did that.
You'll probably figure out a reason soon. That sort of thing seems to happen when people are around me. Pay it no mind.
Look,
Ezra-
I'm sorry about this.
Ezra is going to sheathe his blade again, and then extend a hand and say, he's gonna say in, Undercommon, I am Ezravin Lavfir Veritii.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm just gonna back away slowly, and I'm gonna keep my hammer in my hand because I still have this weird desire to kill him, I guess.
I'm
It's
gonna
starting
put my
to reside now that you're coming into control. It's almost like something in the back of your mind leapt to the front without any logical explanation.
I'm gonna put my hand on your shoulder and say, I recommend you put that away.
On my shoulder.
Yes, on your shoulder.
Yeah, I look at you for a second, and then I shake a bit, and then I do put my hammer away.
Don't worry, you'll
That's
probably
the down
have an
before.
understanding of why you hate me so not too long from now, he says, looking over at you. Flint, everyone does.
I like this guy
We
already.
should continue this conversation inside. There's a group of undead heading this way.
Yes.
By the way, does he
Sanathar says.
seem to react to my choice of language?
He doesn't really seem to pay it much mind. I mean, he doesn't look like he doesn't know it, but at the same time, he doesn't look like, oh, this is somebody who speaks Undercommon. He doesn't seem to care either way.
Okay.
I really
Ezra
like this guy.
cares.
He made Flint rage.
Congratulations, you gave
I
us
Ezra
like how
has
that's all
some
on
sort
your
of connection
criteria.
to this language, and Ezra doesn't know it, but he has some sort of connection to this language.
Very well, come on. Then at that point he points to Sanathar, and Sanathar starts lifting some heavy wood aside and moves aside some bricks to reveal a bit of a very tight but manageable entrance behind the barricades.
Ezra will step inside.
Ezra, as you kind of bump shoulders with Sanathar, a memory comes to mind of you just kind of coughing on the ground, the storm raging around you as you know you're on a battlefield, and as you look up, you clearly see Sanathar bring down the blunt end of her war axe into your head, and you're just like, but back to normal as she's just walking forward.
Ezra will stagger back and
You stagger back into Aki.
yeah.
Hey!
And
watch it.
I need to. What should I roll to know if this was a vision of things past or a vision
Oh,
of things
you
to
know
come?
it's a vision of things past.
I was just wondering because he is precognitive. So
Yeah,
he
no,
might...
you know
Yeah.
it's a vision of things past.
Interesting.
Ezra will stumble
Yeah.
back and say, I just saw. And then he'll have some muttered swears in Undercommon.
Was it involving me? She said, looking back at you.
A battlefield. Stormy, I think.
Mhm.
We were against one another.
Yes. Similar memories have come to mind. Come on, Lindwick says, pushing you all in. The memories will flow. Sooner or later we'll get a bit of answers as to why everyone here is so determined to draw swords on one another, but for right now, how about we get inside the fucking gate?
I didn't draw blades.
Yeah,
I don't know
tried
what's
to
up
keep
with
He's,
you
at this
guys.
point notices the wolf, and Wolfie kind of just like halts as like he starts to pull in. He looks down at the Winter Wolf and says, "Is this one with you?"
Yeah, that's mine. Come on.
I am not yours.
You are. I am
He just
part-
follows after you. He doesn't have any reason to deny you.
I point at my ears and I'm
Once
like,
we
I am
step inside,
part fox.
Ezra's gonna look out from through this barricade to see if he can see Kath anywhere.
You do not. But you do, however, see in the distance, not too far away, a town.
Ezra will sigh sadly and turn back toward the town.
Yeah, all this time Flint is staying as far away from Lindwick as he can.
Yeah, Lindwick's helping you with that. He makes sure that you have a comfortable lead in the tunnel before he even steps foot in it.
Okay.
So-
Ezra will ask
Then I start-
Lindwig, we are waiting on another of our party. She went to scout ahead, and I do not know if she has come here ahead of us, or if she follows behind.
I'll get someone else to watch the gate then for us, but I imagine you probably want some answers. I take it these people are new, Sanathar? Sanathar nods.
Do you,
Very well.
Does she even need the gate?
Do we need the gate?
No, not you. Like,
I don't know if she
like she didn't seem to
teleports.
make it.
Would I know the
hole in
shadow
the
realm
mattress?
behaves the same as the normal realm?
She didn't
It's
seem
just
to be
you
able
can't
to
interact with anything.
Well, she didn't seem
You
to
get nat
like
20?
Me?
interact with a mattress.
Oh no, sorry. I thought I knew some.
Mhm.
I just knew like shadow realm relatively is the same as the normal realm.
Yeah, I'll say you have a rough idea, but even then, she's a wizard, so maybe she knows
I
something.
probably wouldn't know anything about the time nor the like.
Yeah.
What creates
Aki,
it? And
What were you saying?
I was asking if does she even need the gate to be open? I mean, she didn't seem to. She was lying on your bedroll, right? But she didn't
She
seem to
was?
dent it, so maybe she just doesn't interact with things.
Hmm.
Anyways, what do the
Right.
NPCs think of this, like, discussion we're having?
Well, it's not out of the normal yet.
Lindwake does not seem to pay you any mind. And Xanathar is actively like, yep, I need to get home now. Sort of march like she is excited to get home.
What race is Lindwig again?
Following.
He's
Well,
drow.
Fluffy
Yeah,
is just following you guys, and Hooch just kind of at this point landing on him, Aki's shoulder, just looking around.
What race is Lindwig?
He's drow.
Drow. He's a drow.
Yeah, as Flint is walking ahead, like not even really looking around, he's just like walking forward, in thoughts. And Lindwig mentioned the word paladin, and I would like to roll a quick religion check to see if I know what this is.
No, you know what that is.
Okay.
Oh.
You know what that is.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
even without the 19, you know what that is, and in fact, you know what type of paladin you are, and you know the meanings behind your paladin, but you don't know why you chose it, what god you're devoted to, or how the, you know. You're like, I am a paladin of vengeance.
Basically the same thing I know.
I don't know why I'm a paladin of vengeance.
Yeah, sort of the same way.
So I'm just gonna assume that all of this just like came to me now that he mentioned the word, and
Yeah.
I'm just kind of thinking about that.
And,
I'm probably staying near Neekolas because he's the least insane of the group that I've seen so far.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
Actually,
you're the one who turned into like a devil woman.
Twice.
Speak about not being insane. You turned
Hey.
into devil woman.
Just a
Flint just
doesn't
randomly
make me-
attacked someone.
Doesn't make me insane.
Ezra is, I mean, his ears are weird, and also he, like, I don't know, he's a bit strange, isn't he? He talks
as
to
far as
invisible
he
people.
knows, it's not his fault. His ears are mutilated.
Yeah, but you talk to invisible people.
But I talk to invisible people too.
I also called you weird.
Oh, fair point.
All right, so we get into town, or is there anything more that happens in the tunnel?
That's a no then.
You get ambushed.
Do you guys want to do anything else as you go into town? As you go into town, you notice there are various different wheat fields and other things sort of centered around.
Well, yeah, what's the
Ezra
town
is
like?
going to look to our orcish guide and say, "You said there was another who might be interesting for me to talk to. Could you direct me that way, or is there things that must be done first?"
I'm going to see him first.
What?
Ezra nods.
What is the town like? Like, what's it made of? What tech level?
It
are we
looks like
talking?
it's mostly made of wood. However, you do notice a very strange, very square-looking stone building within it, but you have no understanding of what that building is. You notice for the most part, most of the houses seem to be made of wood and thatch, and you imagine it was made in a movement to make the place comfortable more so than make it practical and livable than it is comfortable. And with that, I'm going to move you all to another map.
Not a map.
Well, it's probably just a going around town map and not a combat map.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So the map is pure black.
Yes, let me put down your characters.
Okay,
There's
good.
yours,
I was
Aki.
As we're walking, I would like to walk next to Lindwig.
All
I don't know
right,
how to
feel
do it.
free to arrange yourselves as soon as
On
I
the
put everyone
left
down.
side,
I'll,
right? We're right side. We're coming in on the right side. Correct.
Bottom left.
No.
Oh, well, you can look.
On the map, it comes more like this. This is how
Bottom.
more so how it works. It's just I can't really twist the image on the overall map 90 degrees without it looking really weird.
Okay.
Forgive me about that.
You are forgiven.
You're not forgiven. Unacceptable.
Okay. Why is Roll20's being really sticky on me today?
Oh,
I like this drow guy.
goodness, where is...
Ezra likes this drow guy too. Ezra does not know why.
I like this
Flint
drow
does
guy.
not
'cause
like him, and he does not know why either.
I almost attacked him when Flint did,
Why?
Oh no, you're insane
because
as
Flint
well.
attacked him, and Flint's the leader.
Oh, pack tactics.
Aki,
huh?
for clarity, are you riding Fluffy?
Nah,
Okay.
I was gonna, but he was
Yeah.
sent ahead to like...
Yeah, I
Do
think so
stuff.
far no one's been riding him.
No, he wasn't.
Oh yeah, but he was gonna be, and then I didn't, so I didn't. So I'm not.
Aki can fly, so.
So
you
yeah.
don't get that
Yeah, I'm
ability.
also lazy.
You all start to walk in at this point, and as you do so, you do notice up to the northeast of you all, there is one building that seems to not just be made out of thatch roofs and whatnot, but actually pretty well constructed, and it seems to be much newer, very well done. And Sanathar points to it and works. That is our local tavern, if you will, as much as we have of one.
Well, that
I
explains
look up
why,
at that.
that explains why it looks the best.
Is Flint running off to the tavern?
Flint is definitely
Oh,
speeding up
I'm
at this
moving
point.
you guys as well. So yeah, as you all are moving along, you see various different people moving about in the town center, various mooks and NPCs, or various people that you don't really take much attention to, but you see them. I like how I just said mooks, and I was like, oh wait, shit.
Nice. I would like
Tomato,
to pay attention to
tomato.
all of them
Which
just
is
to
the
make me
tavern?
generate
Is it
names.
the one on the left? Is the tavern the one on the left here?
No, that's the weird stone building I mentioned.
Okay.
Are we
They
headed
were
to
the same
tavern,
thing.
it looks
We
like?
can't really tell
Yeah, Flint is definitely heading
because
for the tavern, and he's like walking ahead of everyone else. So,
yeah, we can just about see the walls, Mac. We can't really tell. You'll have to tell us.
and Flint is
Oh,
still not
and
talking.
yeah,
Flint
no,
is still
my
just-
apologies. I thought I kept. Oh shit, no, fuck no.
Whoa.
Oh, the map
That
is
was
moving.
trip.
I mean, that isn't
Oh,
the
dear.
weirdest thing that's happened to us.
Oh.
Map player 1, square to the right. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. I tried to get to token layer and I accidentally clicked the map layer
As that
instead.
happens, an earthquake apparently shakes the area.
They're
Ecliptixis.
heading this way, heading towards this building. Fluffy's kind of just gonna move over here and lay down and says, "I'll be here if you need me."
You're not coming?
I mean, last time I went in a building, all my people kind of got killed.
Yeah, well, all you people are going in the building,
I'm
so...
gonna give him a piece of meat before I go.
He
Yeah, you should come.
munches on me.
Also, we're the ones who killed them, so you should come with us.
Oh my god.
Clearly we're stronger.
He just lowers his head and just starts following you all.
I pet him.
It's not a good idea to.
He
Ah.
scrunches his head away from you as you pet him.
I don't care. I pet him.
Yeah, Flint is not talking to anyone until he gets up to the bar and just says, "Get me the strongest ale you have."
Well, I mean, I can, but you look like you might not need it,
Get
says
me
a human voice as
the
he starts to walk out of the corner.
You have.
I'm gonna stay outside with Fluffy.
No.
Fluffy's
Okay.
coming inside.
Oh my god.
You
No,
stay outside
Fluffy is not a good idea for her to bring him inside. He's large.
Stay outside with me.
Fluffy will listen to Neekolas, or Fluffy will listen to Aki, because Aki just threatened his life.
Ezra's
I didn't threaten him, I just told
stand
him
in the
that
corner.
we're stronger than his previous pack, he won't get hurt.
No, you threatened him. He
Nah.
takes it as you threatened him.
Alright, well, it's his problem.
I don't think so, but, you know.
I mean, he kind of is. I'm taking it as his problem. There we go. Problem solved. Ish.
So, do they look like they're leading us deeper into the building, or does it look like this is where we
Oh,
were headed?
that's kind of the tavern. That seems to be the tavern. That seems to be the place where you would drink, eat, sleep. I had a token for this individual, and now that token is gone. You know, I am searching for said token.
He is invisible!
Invisible!
No, I had a token for him. Where was token?
It's Kath's brother.
Would you like generic token number 5?
No, I wouldn't, because that annoys me.
Good, because it's your D&D game, so I can't upload it.
Generic token number 5. Now I'm curious what that looks like.
Pretty certain it's just a red circle.
Oh. It isn't like the guy that shows up when there's no portrait associated with a token.
Nope, it's... No, I made like a number of just generic tokens. They're literally just coloured circles.
Yeah, that's what who
my
is.
other group has decided that the default token guy is gonna end up being the evil boss because he keeps appearing whenever our DM tries to put a new token on the map.
Nice. Now,
He's clearly the end boss.
Hoot's token is
There we go.
not a generic token. That's just my familiar bird token.
Let me see
So
if this
familiar
doesn't
bird
fuck
token,
everything
generic
up. I
bird.
doubt it. I bet it's going to. It did.
He's
Are we
very
fighting?
large.
And suddenly there is a giant. Interesting.
He just
No, it's
walked
bigger than
into the
Giant.
establishment, and Xanathar runs over and hugs him very hard. Kind of like she's obviously like at least 1.5 feet taller than him, and he's just like, "Ugh,
What does he
Hello.
look like?
honey,
He's human. You
he
said
is a
he's
human. He's a human male, roughly. He looks to be, hell, by your guys' guess, he's younger than 20, and he looks very young. Short brown hair, roughly cut. And he's wearing decently plain clothes, mostly just leathers and cloak and whatnot. And he does have a sword on his back, but you can tell by the way it's holstered. Any of you with martial training, basically all of you, he is not holding on to this in a proper way that would actually stop something bad from happening.
By the way, Ezra's long sword is across his back, by the way. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. The short sword is at the belt, and one of the daggers is now at the belt. The other daggers are like in a harness over his chest plate.
You realise that a sword over your back's like really impractical, right?
Yeah.
It
You
is,
can't draw
but
it.
it looks cool.
If he just steps inside and she's just like,
Flint definitely also has his shield and his warhammer on his back.
yeah, so he's like being hugged, and he just looks over, sees Fluffy, goes in, honey, and she just hugs him harder and just says, shh,
Let
shh,
it happen.
time.
I'm
I
just
just
gonna.
need a hug.
I'll just
And he
pet.
just, like, eventually hugs her.
I'm
And
gonna
they
pet
stand there for
Fluffy.
like a moment, and then she just goes and says, God, I missed you. Yeah, I can tell, but mind telling me who these folk are? He says, turning around to look at you all. Ezra, as he turns, you can see down the left side of his face, starting underneath his left ear, and just continuing down his left side of his face is markings similar to yours.
Ezra will approach from where he's been standing in the corner, and roll up his sleeve and say, "Greetings. What do you know of this?" Showing him like his arm.
That was
Ezra, introduce yourself first. Maybe.
I apologize. Apologies. Ezravin Lavfir Veritii.
A facepalm.
Same.
Eagle rolls his eyes.
Lux, he says, holding out his hand. The name's Lux.
Ezra will shake his hand.
It's nice to meet you.
I just sort of wave from where I am. I'm Aki.
Nice to meet you.
This is Fluffy. He's being grumpy. Don't question him.
You threatened my life.
No, I didn't. And I go to try and pat him again.
He just sinks slower, but you still get the pat.
I'm petting him.
I
Want to
am going
leave him
to
alone, Aki.
aura sight. And I'm also going to aura sight focus. I'm going to view aura and I'm going to aura sight focus.
What does that mean?
I
aura?
can do
Spell
both of them in the chat.
cards.
That probably isn't going to come up, but view aura also.
We see both of them.
So that's what he's doing.
Alright then.
And I'm reducing my psi.
You could just choose to have advantage on insight. That's neat.
Yeah, but it
as
does
long
take
as
up like
I-
a third of his daily abilities.
But
But that is for an
not
hour.
the focus.
Damn.
The focus is I just need a bonus action to change it.
Yeah, no, he can just choose the focus. Just like, oh no, I have advantage.
Man.
I
Mystics,
have
man.
been not just like switching
The
constantly.
funny thing is that he's actually playing this in the least broken way,
Yeah, I know.
and we are already weakening him. Ugh.
Yeah, he could have done that
Wizards of the
totally on my
Coast, you need
deception.
to get Wizards of the Coast. You need to get your shit together when it comes to freaking mystics. Holy hell. But yeah, he just looks you over and says, nice to meet you. And you are, he says, looking at Arizima.
I am Arizima.
Nice to meet you. And you are, he says, looking over at you, Flint.
I ordered an ale earlier.
He's a dwarf.
Xanathar narrows her eyes at you.
Do I get anything from looking at his aura, by the way?
You can tell that he's
Apprehensive?
very scared. He's very nervous, kind of like uncomfortable with the entire situation, and you
Would
get a
apprehensive be a good word?
there is a good amount of like there is some happiness underneath it all, but there's also some dread underneath it all.
And do I
As
see?
there is no answer for a few seconds,
He
Like,
walks
I
back
think-
inside the kitchen.
first thing that I'm like, I'm sorry. Name's Flint Fireforge. It's a rough day.
He just comes back out holding a tankard of something that looks brown, slides it towards you. That doesn't taste good, but it's strong, so I figure that's what you want.
He hasn't even finished speaking when I've already finished like half the mug.
Yeah. You're gonna need to roll me a con save then, because you're basically drinking something along the lines of whiskey.
He has advantage against poisons.
Yeah, you have advantage because you're a dwarf, but you still gotta roll me a con save.
Double nat ones.
Oh,
Double nat 20s. Okay.
Lightweight shit. This is lightweight
change your
shit
dice
for you.
color again.
That's a waste.
What the fuck is
Change your dice color, dude. You're
What
never
the
getting
fuck?
luck on that color again.
Oh god. Why?
By the way, one of the things I was specifically looking for with looking at his aura is any sort of psionic effects.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. He seems like there's a bit of magic to him, like every living thing has, but he doesn't seem like he's actively using magic.
There was,
Doesn't seem like a mage or any sort. Just seems like a humble person.
there was an awful lot of magic floating around me.
There's
Yeah, I put down the tanker. It's empty now. I say, please get me one more. And
Sure, he says,
I look-
grabbing it
I
up.
look- I look
Ezra's-
slightly better now.
Ezra's gonna say, "Get me some of that too."
Oh,
Thanks.
sure.
One of these days, you guys are gonna get some manners.
Ezra said,
I point to
"Thanks."
Aki.
He hands one
agree,
out to you, Ezra. Careful, this stuff is strong. Although, I imagine you being a dwarf and all your people are used to stronger stuff. This,
And
like,
I thought I had a thing for this. I need to check something. I need to check something before I do anything else.
would any of you all like something? Some drink? Some food?
Not for me, please.
Just some half ale, please.
Lindwick,
take a
you want
water.
anything? No, I'm fine. Looks over at you, Arizima. Water?
Yeah.
Okay, that's next level.
I take
I'm
half ale if
okay.
you
I'm
want
gonna roll
charisma.
my con check now.
Are you drinking it hard?
Or
I'm
soft.
not. Ezra's gonna have a large gulp, but he's not downing it.
Then you're fine. I'll make you
Okay.
roll one later, but for right now, you're fine. Comes
Damn it.
back over, brings you guys half ales, gives you a half ale, Arizima. Sadly, we don't really have a good way to make sure water's safe in here. I mean,
Thanks.
drinking water is fine and all when you're on the road, but it's best to be safer in town.
Yeah, I take my second mug of ale and I walk over to the table and sit down.
I thought it was whiskey.
It's kind of like
Or
whiskey,
ale.
kind of like ale. It's very obviously homebrew sort of stuff.
Ezra is.
Yeah,
You
I-
can tell
I
by
drink-
looking at him, he was not a brewmaster before whatever the hell has caused you all to get here, but at the same time, he seems to be learning, so there's
Yeah.
that.
Ezra
gonna-
is
Yeah, I'm drinking lots of
continuing
ale
to
this time,
look
so can I
at him.
appreciate the taste? Is it good or is it like?
It's
Just alcohol.
for most intents and purposes, this is just alcohol.
Okay.
This is
Ah.
literally just serves the purpose of being alcohol.
I'm gonna sit down and I'm just not gonna touch the half ale.
Yeah, I'm going to sit down
Ezra
opposite
is
Neekolas. Sort of pat the
continuing
chair
to
next to me.
look at this person with these same sorts of tattoos.
He just looks you up and down, Ezra. Can I help you with anything else?
Arizima?
I have seen your tattoos and mine. I just wonder about my past looking at you.
Shireen kind of shifts where she's standing and leans back against the wall, and Lux says, yes, those are orcish slave tattoos, denoting who you're owned by.
Oh.
Ezra will
Here I was thinking he was a joint troll.
will sort of have a look of understanding.
I mean, it's best if you let that sort of stuff go in here. It's gonna lead to nothing but trouble. I mean, he looks over at Lindwick. I mean, look at Lindwick here. There's no reason to keep bringing me up, Lindwick mutters.
Ezra, in Undercommon, is going to mutter, that's where my ears went to.
I doubt that, but we'll see, says Lindwick, behind you. Either way, Shireen says, that's where those come from.
Who?
Apparently, what we can regather from our sort of group memories is that there was some sort of war before we all came here.
Oh.
And it does not seem like me and Lindwick were exactly the good guys for most of the people in the town.
I instinctively
remember
check that I'm not wearing a collar.
I know. Never mind.
I'll be right back, you guys. There's some stuff going on upstairs and I need to take care of it. My apologies.
Do we want to take a
In
break
fact,
here? 'Cause
yeah, how about
2
on
hours
that
in.
note, we're gonna take
Oh, we're in it.
we're going to take a break for right now.
Okay.
Awesome.
Alright. With that,
So-
we'll be back in a bit.
Yep, catch.
Bye.
Will be next video. So catch you guys in the next one. Link in the description, possibly. If not, there's a playlist, which may be linked in the description, but I'm not smart.